Hello students, welcome to Sriram's IAS. Welcome to this one PYQ a day series. आज पॉलिटी का दिन है और आज पॉलिटी का क्वेश्चन we will discuss of 2024. This is the question and this is a 10 marker. You have to write the answer in 150 words. Let's read the question. Explain and distinguish between lok adalats and arbitration tribunals, whether they entertain civil as well as criminal cases or not. So again, 150 words. It's a very straightforward question. You just have to write the answer. If you do not know about it, there's going to be a problem. So better would be that you know about it. And when you know about it, you don't actually have to do anything. It's a very straightforward question. You just have to explain what is lok adalat and what is arbitration tribunal. So again, you know the basic structure of an answer: introduction, body and conclusion. So there has to be an introduction, there has to be a body and then the conclusion. So what you are going to write in the introduction? Now these are alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. If you see ADR mechanism, they reduce the burden of the court. The traditional courts have too much of burden, too much of backlog. In order to reduce this burden, these alternative dispute resolution mechanisms are there. It's a very logical thing. So you can write this down in introduction that it's a alternative dispute resolution mechanism. It's a simple thing. So it's a 150 word question and you have to write it, the introduction in 2 to 3 lines, not more than that. Along with it, what does it do? It gives justice in the cost effective manner. First thing is, it is cost effective. You don't have to spend too much of money to get justice. And at the same time, these are specific justice delivery systems. That means they give the justice in a very quick time. So 3 things you have to write in the introduction. Very simple. These are alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. These are cost effective methods of getting justice, and at the same time they deliver justice in a very quick time. Now coming to body. So the first thing which you should understand about lok adalat and arbitration councils are what is the legal sanctity of these two. Now looking at the legal sanctity, an act was passed in 1987, the Legal Services Authorities Act. Legal, for time being I'll rub this thing. Okay, no issues, we'll move. Yes. Yes. So the legal sanctity we are watching here. Lok adalats, the legal sanctity is the National Legal Authorities Act of 1987. What is the legal sanctity of arbitration council? Arbitration and Conciliation Act. Arbitration and Conciliation Act of 1996. So this is the first point which you should write in the differences which you have to form between the lok adalats and the arbitration council. Now once you know the legal sanctity, you should know what kind of cases does it solve. So all the petty criminal cases are solved by the lok adalats. At the same time, civil matters are seen. Civil matters of the nature of family dispute, land disputes are seen by lok adalats. At the same time, if you see the arbitration tribunal, they are heavily involved in complex cases relating to contracts, relating to agreements. Okay, so this is the difference between the cases both of them are solving. Now you know the legal sanctity, you know the kind of cases these guys are solving. Now moving on to the third thing. Do you require a lawyer? Do you require a lawyer here? What are the status of lawyer? The point is, in lok adalats you can fight your own cases. If you need legal advice, you can have legal advice, but you can fight your own cases. So you don't actually need lawyers here. In the traditional system, you do need lawyers, but lawyers are not needed. What about the arbitration tribunal? Do you need lawyers there? So the point is, you can have lawyer, why not? They work as specialists in several cases related to the Companies Act or related to the contractual obligations and the agreements made between the two parties. So lawyers' help can be taken here, but strictly not needed. I mean, you can take the help or you can avoid the help. But if you really need the legal advice, you can take the help of lawyers in arbitration tribunals also. After the lawyers, what about the judges? Judges has to be there. So in the Lok Adalats, the judges can be the retired judges or even the magistrates, the sitting magistrates. People with legal background can also be the judges over here. What about the judges there? You have to choose the arbitrators in the arbitration tribunal. Now arbitrators have to be chosen by both the parties, and both the parties has to agree on the arbitrators, on the list of the arbitrators. So instead of judges, arbitrators are there. Okay, instead of judges, arbitrators are there. Now we know about the legal sanctity, about the kind of cases which go in these two authorities, the need of a lawyer and the judges. What about the judgment? What about the judgment? Is the judgment final? Yes, of course. The judgment given by the Lok Adalat is final and there is no appeal to it. There is no appeal to it. You cannot go in the traditional legal system and appeal against the judgment given by the Lok Adalats. You have to remember this. Similarly, here also, there is no appeal. But here appeal can be made if there is some issue with the procedure which is followed, or if there has been a case of biasness. So procedure and biasness. Here also a person has the right to litigate, and they can go after they have obtained a justice from Lok Adalats. If they are not satisfied, they can go to the traditional court system as well, but no appeal is entertained. So you have written the introduction, you have written the body. Now is the time to write the conclusion of this. What will you write in the conclusion? See, alternative dispute resolution mechanism is very, very helpful. It reduces the burden on the judiciary and it helps in the justice delivery system. And justice delivery system brings what? Justice delivery system helps in social justice and also in economic justice. So social justice and economic justice are two very broad values which needs to be followed in the society, and you can link your conclusion with social justice and economic justice, isn't it? So these are the two very important elements which you can put in your conclusion, and hence this completes your introduction, body and conclusion. It's a very straightforward question. You have to write it in 150 words. You can write it only if you know, because these are several in a way I can say technical things. If you do not know the legal sanctity behind these two different bodies, it will be difficult. If you do not know whether they go for criminal cases or for civil cases, then again it will be a problem. So the second part is covered here. If you see the kind of cases it takes into account, the arbitration tribunal has no jurisdiction over the criminal cases, but it takes the civil cases of the contractual nature, of the commercial nature. Whereas if you see the Lok Adalats, it takes the petty minor criminal cases of compoundable nature. That is it. You are going to write it only if you know. So study well and have a nice time. Thank you very much.